Today is day 13 of Valorant Champions and we have two matches for today, DRX vs Fnatic and XSET vs FPX. Our first match is DRX vs Fnatic, and while it was pretty hard to pick a favorite, I personally expected Fnatic to win, as it feels like DRX are just destined to finish 5th or 6th at international tournaments. The maps for this series are Icebox for Fnatic, Ascent for DRX, and then Fracture as the decider. As you'd expect for Icebox, we have pretty boring team comps, only difference being a Jett for DRX and a Chamber for Fnatic. Now, one thing I want to highlight from Icebox is Buzz going full Korean Jett mode. Now, unfortunately, we don't quite see this in real time and we only have the replay to work with, but you can still see how crazy he goes.
And it's beautiful because it's in the middle of the lockdown, it's in the middle of the Hunter's Fury, there's a lot of distraction.
Really well played by Buzz. And also this round, particularly with the Killjoy ultimate, got pretty wild towards the end.
Secure the round for DRX, and there you go.
Both used at the same time.
What do Fnatic do? There's the Hunter's Fury, the one great equalizer in this situation. But perhaps Durka can find more. Posts are still playing back yellow as Fnatic just dismantled DRX once again.
They're getting locked. Oh my goodness, there's two players here. Two still alive though.
Sass,
oh my goodness.
The last Fnatic players are all very low HP. The round could have easily gone either way, both Killjoy ultimates used. Pretty insane round. Durka had a phenomenal performance on Icebox. He dropped 31 kills, even though there were only 20 rounds in the map. As per usual, he looked insane on the chamber. Very consistent 2, 3, 4Ks every other round. I do also want to mention that DRX lost both pistol rounds and then the ecos after each pistol as well. So that's 4 rounds they instantly lose because their pistols aren't great. Now on to Ascent for map 2. Nothing special with the team comps, both teams using what they have already in the tournament. Both went huge for Fnatic in round 9.
Far out they are.
Enzo's here trying to anchor the site
out.
by himself. 30 seconds. It's a 1-for-1. Boaster now with the rhyme! What a flick from Boaster! But Mako, again, trying to bring things back. A 2v2, Alfie are close by, and it's going to have to be him by himself. He lost the clutch previously. Can he win this one?
Spike's not planted yet.
He used the ult. There's no way in.
He's got into backside.
They're going to have to overwhelm Alfear. Can he hold the line by himself?
They don't know where he is.
Time?
They don't know where he is.
Not enough time.
No.
He's gotten it to 1. The clock has expired. What a holdout from Alfear. The Red Bull clutch for Fnatic.
That wasn't the only clutch on Ascent though, as you'll see here in round 22.
But he's going to have to go more than that. Mako's got to clutch this out. For DRX. He spotted a gun barrel. He's gotten it to 1. Mako gets both. Mako gets both.
The fact that his gun barrel is sticking out there tips him off to his position. Still though, super well played by Mako. After that insane clutch and a round of overtime, DRX ended up closing out Ascent. Alfio did really well on the Killjoy, but it wasn't quite enough to bring Fnatic home, and so we're going to map 3. The third map of this series is Fracture, and just like last time, fairly standard here for the team comps, nothing unexpected. What I want to highlight from Fracture is Alfio's effort here in round 22.
Buzz finds another. Enzo, can he swing it back? Bulldog in hand. Sass holding it tight, and the flash is there. Alfear and Enzo, and it's so fitting that it's just Alfear who's alive, and Alfear's gotten 2.
Res possible.
Can Alfear do this? Can he do this? The swing. Oh, he's gotten it to a 1v1. He's going to threaten the res again. The flash there. Enzo not back up yet. Alfear holding it. Stacks on the swing. Alfear falls, but it's still a 1v1. Can Mystic do it? 87 HP. The flash is up top, and no! The Red Bull clutch for DRX. In the face of history, they write a new future.
So as you saw there, DRX ended up winning Fracture, albeit on the Neon looked insanely strong, and with this win in the series, they finally beat their curse of always finishing 5th and 6th at international tournaments. So then move on to ladder round 3, and we'll verse the winner of XSET and FPX. The second match of the day is XSET vs FPX, and even though XSET won the last time these two teams played, I think FPX were the favorites for this rematch. For this series, the maps are Pearl for XSET, Bind for FPX, and then Ascent as the decider. For Pearl, neither team is running a Viper, and additionally, FPX don't have a fade. For Pearl, his Artist going absolutely insane on Chamber.
Snapping the wrist just to find Aaron, and oh my god! What? This is why you don't go towards where he is. That's why you run and hide. And I think he's run him like a bloody.
This guy is absolutely insane. Despite those heroics from Artist, XSET do end up taking out their map pick of Pearl. It was a pretty close game overall, and XSET were just better on their map pick. So for map 2 we're heading to Bind, and there's actually surprisingly different team comps here. XSET have a Sky and an Astra and a Chamber, while FPX have a KO, Brim, and Fade. Now, it was against a pretty weird buy, but an ace is an ace, so check this out from BCJ.
Two members of FPX. Xiao somehow still gets back to B-side and dives ahead of Angel, miraculously.
Pretty clean. For Bind, so Getsu had a pretty huge play on round 21.
As well, the honk goes up, so Getsu now go try and dive through, but he's chasing them! He's hot on their heels, and they heard none of it!
And because all those XSET players were hit by the Fade ult, they couldn't even hear him teleport. So Bind does end up going to FPX, so Getsu had a really good map overall, not just in that clip that I showed. 5 first kills as well from Artis is pretty huge, and so we're headed to map 3. Now for our third and final map of the series, we're headed to Ascent, where FPX were probably favoured. Fairly similar team comps overall, though I do prefer FPX's with the Fade and the Sage. Now for Ascent, I want to show how a bug might have actually lost XSET this round.
Xiao and Angel do the unthinkable here. The turret actually going to identify Angel, but it deals with it quickly. The smoke goes on main here. They're going to burst off this.
Damage coming in, Angel already down to 39. Aya in the first one to take the fight, he loses. Xiao's found him. Oh, Angel's got second, and now it's only Jeff. And the defuse.
So FPX do win the 2v3 there, but this Killjoy turret shoots at Heaven, even though there is no one in Heaven. You can see both FPX players are in Tree, and yet this Killjoy turret shoots at Heaven, and because of this, Def is looking at Heaven the entire time. You know, even though there's 2 players coming in from Tree, he was still stuck behind Jen, looking up at Heaven, expecting one to be there, because the Killjoy turret bugged and shot at Heaven. So do you think this bug cost XSET the series? It certainly made things harder for them, that's for sure. To be honest, Ascent was a pretty scrappy map overall. A lot of the attacks, especially from XSET, felt like they were just executing at the last second and rushing onto the site. I know the teams are maybe just stressed or tired by the end of the series, but FPX did come out on top for Ascent and win the series overall. Artis played pretty well, but apart from that, no real standout performance for this series. So now that means XSET are eliminated from Champions and FPX move on in the lower bracket. We have a 2-day break from games now, and when we're back, we'll have Lad versus Optic in the upper final and FPX versus DRX in the lower bracket.